You have the potential of being great. The only problem is you have an enemy. And that enemy is you. When you look at yourself in the mirror, you know better off than anybody else what's going on up here. You know better off than anybody else what's wrong with you and what's right with you. You know your weaknesses, you know your strengths. You know when you're doing right and when you're doing wrong. Remember. And some of you will continue just to go on your merry way until one day you wake up and it's too late. My little chat with you today is hopefully to wake some of you up. For those of you that are doing great, I want you to do greater. I don't know of one sports person I've talked to in 10 years since I've been in this school that ever said to me, I want to score less goals this week than I did last week. When I run my race, I want to get a slower time than I did last time. When I throw that discus, I want to throw it less feet than more feet. When I take a test, I want to get a lower grade rather than a higher grade. When I go to the prom or I go to the movies or I do anything, I want to have a worse time next time than I did last time. But folks, some of you are doing that. Because they say, what in the world is it going to take to wake some of you up? You are in la-la land. And some of you are doing very well. And I would challenge you to do even better. And those of you that have given up, for whatever the reason, I'm telling you, from my perspective, you should not succumb to the reasons you've come up with. I'm too ugly, I'm too fat. I'm too tall, I'm too short. I'm too white, I'm too black. I'm too curly in my hair, I'm not straight enough. Or whatever it is. You come up with more obstacles that you put in front of yourself than exist. You are your own worst enemy. Or some of you can be your own best ally. And I'm here to cheer you on. Most of you text. Most of you communicate in some form or fashion with somebody else. I'm not going to ask for a show of hands, but how many of you have taken a moment to text someone that you have gotten support from, a positive word of encouragement, or somebody that's helped you through a difficult time that you just happen to say, thinking about you and thank you for all your support. Thinking about you, love you. You know, when I tell my wife I love her more, not on Valentine's Day, when she expects it, it's every other day but Valentine's Day. There's nothing preventing any of you from turning to the person to your left or right and saying, you know what, you really look nice today. Or how did your day go? Or you look pretty good today. Or is everything okay? You don't look your normal self. Yeah, well, I had a bad day. Is there anything I can do to help you? I'm not asking you all to become psychiatrists or sociologists, but sometimes a word of encouragement can go a long way, especially from a peer. I talk to you, you may see me as, okay, he's the old guy in class. Well, I am the old guy in class. I happen to be 68 years old. You guys are at the beginning of your life. I am clearly not at the end of my life because I feel I have many more years ahead of me. And what I'm going to do when I retire next year is I'm going to see what I can do to multiply my years by saying, how can I even do more in a day than I'm doing right now? Now, we all, by the way, have 24 hours. Haven't met anyone in my 68 years that has 24 hours and 1 minute or 23 hours and 59 minutes. We all have the same amount of time. It's what we do with it. Some of us think we know everything. And you're between 15 and 18. I'm 68, and every day I breathe, I say, goodness, how much I don't know. Wow. Not how much I know. What can I learn today? And believe it or not, I look at you as a potential resource for me to learn. You have value to me. Believe it or not, I have unofficially adopted all of you as my extended children. You may not want me as your adopted father, but you are my adopted children. For the last several years, I didn't have to be here. I have fortunately worked very hard in my life. I don't have to work anymore. I haven't had to work anymore for years. I have plenty of money in the bank, cash. Not in the market that I have to wait till I go home to look at the market or look on my calculator and say, what did I have today? How much did I lose? I'm in good shape. Why? Because I'm prepared. Am I a millionaire right now? Yes, I am. Am I a multimillionaire? No. But I can say I'm a millionaire in cash. And yet I'm here. Why am I wasting my time? I'm investing in my future. You are the future of this world. You are going to be the next innovators, next business leaders, the next president. Why not in this class? It's going to be somebody, why not you? Don't be your own worst enemy. You can change any day you want to change. You have the power to do it. You just want to have to do it. I shared with a student the other day that I met some astronauts several years ago. Your astronaut project that you worked on came from my meeting with these astronauts. And I asked them all the same question, what was it that motivated them to be an astronaut? And they all said without exception, they had a dream to be an astronaut. And I asked them, were they the best in the class? Were they smartest in the class? Were they the strongest in the class? Were they best looking in the class? No, 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 and no. We were average. But we had a dream. And I didn't ask them all together. I asked them individually during the party, which is their bon voyage party before they get on the next morning and get on the shuttle and fly. Take off, rather. But they all basically said the same thing. The most down-to-earth people that you ever want to meet. And I asked them all, how does it feel when you're coming in on re-entry and you're going through that heat shield and it's shaking and you know it could blow up on you and you could die up there, or you can die during blast off, or you can die when you're up there in space in the satellite, in the space station. And they all said without exception, then I'm going to die doing what I love doing. Wow. My wish for you, my prayer for you is that someday when you're drawing your last breath, you can die what you love doing. How fortunate you will be. If you don't like the way your life is going, change it. You have the power. Do not underestimate what you're capable of doing. You will create more obstacles to put in front of you why you can't do something than why you can do something. The human spirit is extraordinarily resourceful if you give it the opportunity. Some of you are so afraid to fail, but yet you fail because you're afraid to fail. Every failure you have should be your next rung on the ladder to a success. You build on those rungs of failure to create successes. I have learned far more in my life by what I did wrong than what I did right. Don't be afraid to make a mistake. But more importantly, learn from from your mistake. Learn from the mistake or the experience of others. Now, some of you, right now, probably wish that I wish they would shut the hell up. I'm so tired of hearing anyone lecture to me. I've had it up to here. Well, if you have, you need this lecture more than anybody else. And for those of you that are doing well and saying, hey, I got all my stuff together, well, think of it as being in a sailing ship, going across the ocean. You just have a regular amount of air. I would like to blow more air into your sails so you can move faster. As opposed to, you may be winning the race, but I want you to maximize it. Do not limit yourself. And mark my words, somebody in here, someone in the school, one day will do something great. The shame is, it could be all of you. If you believed in yourself. Think about it. What you really want to do, what you really want to learn, where you really want to focus your energies, just reflect on how well you can do that little thing that you choose is so important to you. And I don't care what it is. You will stay up later. You will do what's ever necessary to do what it is that you want to do. When it's self-directed, self-motivated. I will have students tell me, I can't remember this. I can't study this. I can't do this. I can't read this. And I'll hear that same student going down the hallway singing music forwards and backwards. How'd you do that? I just taught myself. Well, how'd you teach yourself? Oh, I thought you said you couldn't read. Yeah, but that's your stuff. My stuff I want to read. Oh, so you can read. It's amazing. I know some of the stuff you read is boring as all get up. It's not relevant, so read something that is relevant to you. You can do what you set your mind to do. Only you will limit yourself. You need to be able to self-direct your studies and do what you have to do, and not have someone come to you all the time and feed you like you're a little baby. Open your mouth, very good. Let me put it in, let me wipe your lips now, very good. And yet some of you are like that as adults. Unless I'm there right behind you, prompting you every minute of the class, you're floating around aimlessly. Unless I'm redirecting you every so many minutes, you're floating around. And there's only one person you're hurting. You. There's only one person and you're limited. You're limiting. You. There's only one person you're holding back. You. Unfortunately, you doing all those no, not being productive, one day is going to be all of the rest of us that are working hard. And as I said, I have no problem helping someone down and out. I do have a problem when that person becomes expecting of the help. It's amazing what some people just expect. As an example, I've taken over probably 300,000 pictures in the last 10 years. 300,000. Just in last night's performance, I think I took 600 pictures. Painstakingly looking at each person, trying to capture them at their best and not at an awkward point. And if I got them at an awkward point, I review it and take it out and try to get another one. And then I'll make those pictures available, as I have in other years. I will have some people, very, very, very small number, will come to me and say, thank you, Mr. Favale. These were great pictures. I really enjoyed it. Most people would sit there and swipe the pictures, move on, walk right past me, never even say, thank you for standing there the whole time while we were performing, and then when we left, we did other things, and you stood there taking pictures. Just as an example. We'll go to prom. I will have people line up in here to get pictures. Won't even say thank you. Take a moment and think who you have relationships with that you can send a text message to and say, you know, I was just thinking about you today, and I just want to thank you for all the support you give. The great things are when you could just call somebody I'm even going to put it on. I'm going to take a risk. This is unplanned. Just going to take a risk. I'll let her in 4 times. You might be in business. Yeah, he's in business. All right, let's try. Bear with me. Another risk. Put it in. I'm taking a risk here. I'm just going to say I love you.
Oh, I love you too. Thank you. I need that. That's wonderful. How did you know?
It's going great. I will talk to you later. I gotta go. Goodbye. Did you hear what she said after I said that? Did anybody hear what she said?
Yeah.
I needed that. Wow. Point made. Unplanned for. She started giggling because she's saying, what's he doing? It's true, and I'm married to her 45 years. And what's your first thing she said back to me? Well, I love you too. With a smile on her. I could hear her smiling on the phone. I don't take that for granted any day. Am I, we all change in how we look as we get older. But to me, I see my wife gets more beautiful every day because I have more positive memories of her. But it's true. I share this with you to be honest. You need to stop and smell the roses. You need to realize that your call, your message could be just what that person needs that day. And by you not doing it is cheating yourself of the opportunity of feeling good, like when you give a gift and you see someone smile. That message could be the same thing. I challenge you to go and read all your messages and see how often you have told the other person, either I love you, and I'm not talking with sex in mind, I'm talking with just a good, positive feeling. Well, I'm saying it because I know, people's thoughts. I'm being honest with you. There are many different facets of love. Love is like a diamond. All these different facets. It's not just one thing. You're cheating yourself if you only see it as one thing. If you're able to see all the different dimensions of the diamond, it becomes so much more than what it is. And your life can be the same thing if you permit yourself to take a risk. Get up in the morning and say, I love you, just the way you look in that mirror. And you don't really have to look that far. You really don't. Believe in yourself. You can do wonderful things if you let yourself do it. So, KWL, Q&A, and yeah, Oksana videos, the support slides of Oksana's videos that she used in her videos, the timeline, the vocabulary, those are all things you need to be working on. You get finished with all that, you can work on other stuff for your other classes. Because what you need to focus on is how do I improve who I am every day? How do I make myself better today than I was yesterday? Look for opportunities to help. Be a problem solver, not a creator of problems. Help someone up, don't pull someone down. Life is good, life is short. I hope my words have encouraged some of you. I hope they've woken up some of you. Some of you, I'm not sure what I have to say to get your attention. But I appreciate you guys every day I come here. You're the reason I come here. Because I sure don't need to be here. This is what I will miss when I retire at the end of next year. Not being able to interact with the students. Not being able to plant some seeds that I will probably never see germinate and grow. And I will feel bad for all the students I wasn't able to reach and shake some sense into them before it was too late for them. But I can only do so much. And having said that, rock and roll, you can rock. Thank you.